What's going on, everybody? My name is Simon and you're watching Soundwave TV, transforming your video experience. It's Sunday evening and I want to do a little bit of a bits and pieces video. Things that I came across that I really didn't think deserved the whole video, but things that I can quickly mention and move on from. So Matthew Knowles is going to be teaching a class in a few weeks and it's being called the Beyonce Boot Camp, and for the price of $1.99 to $2.99 for singers, dancers, publicists, managers, they can have a lesson or even a meet and greet with Matthew Knowles and sort of get his tips and tricks for how to make a singing sensation. And just get a side eye from me because I think people are going to go into this thing thinking they're going to learn how to be the next Beyonce. There's only one. There will only be one. Like, you can't teach somebody how to be 36, 24, 36. I mean, you can't teach somebody how to have a raving fan base. But if you're a publicist, if you're a manager, and you want to know how to keep the talent in line, sort of like position them, then definitely is probably worth the money to you. It just, I would keep your expectations sort of leveled. And if you're out in the Texas area, because I believe he is teaching at Texas Southern University now, a recording production class there. So if you're out in the Texas area and you've got a couple hundred to spend, do some networking, some press the flesh, get some contacts, and yeah, it might be worth it to you. I would just keep your expectations at a medium level. Anyway, in movie news, the Power Ranger movie that's coming out next year has already selected their Pink Ranger. It is an actress by the name of Naomi Scott. I've never heard of her before. Now, apparently she was in a Disney Channel movie, Lemonade Mouth. And I remember that coming out a few years ago. And it used to come on like when they were doing, Jessie, and right when Shake It Up, when Zendaya just came out. I think that had just dropped. I'm not familiar with any of her skills. I'm a little relieved. I was learning this thing's supposed to come out in a year and a half, and we don't have a cast or director or anything. So, what do you think of Miss Scott's skills, and do you think she will do the role of the Pink Ranger justice? Because I believe it's going to be based off the Morphin series. I don't think they're creating a new team of Rangers for the movie. They're going to bring in... It's going to be similar to the Morphin cast that we're familiar with Angel Grove, Zordon, Alpha 5, and all them. So, there you go. Matt Barnes versus Derek Fisher. I wanted to wait a couple of days to talk about this. And I'm trying to think, why would dude travel 100 miles to throw the hands? And everybody thought it's because he's just upset because his estranged wife is in a relationship with a new guy. And he's an NBA player for a few years now. And I don't think a player is going to slug a coach unless there's ample reason to do so. Because this is the most this is the most I've heard about Matt Barnes like ever. He's an I player on an I team, and I don't think he's going to mess up his money. He was on the camera and he said his sons were uncomfortable. His sons had contacted them and they were upset. See, that's why I knew exactly. The kids are involved in some sort of way or fashion. And Derek might have disciplined the kids in an uncool fashion, or I don't want to put too much out there in the universe. I think the little ones maybe saw something that they shouldn't have seen, or saw something that they can't unsee. Dad found out, and the Derek Fisher had to catch those hands. So I would be very interested to hear Derek Fisher's side of the story. And I think being a head coach of a struggling team like the Knicks, he's going to have to make make an appearance at some point. Did you think we'd have all this drama ahead of time? Like, the season doesn't even start for maybe, what, another 2.5 weeks, and we already got Derek Fisher versus Matt Barnes, and then we got Stephen A. Smith versus Kevin Durant. Well, anyway, I saw Inside Out at the Dollar Movie yesterday, and Pixar, they do very beautifully done movies. The visual experience was nice, but it was so cheesy. It's like, I thought they were, little emotional characters. I thought there was emotional characters for everybody. It turns out we're just in the head of this 11-year-old girl, and I was like, yeah, it kind of wear down on me a little while. But it just seemed like a Full House episode that runs a little long. But again, like I said, Pixar had a little cute volcano thing in the beginning, and the movie was sweet. It was just a little too cheesy for my taste. And I'm usually a sucker for an emotional tearjerker, a heartstring puller. But yeah. What do you think about Inside Out? Did you see it in the big movie? Did you see it in the dollar movie? Leave it in the comments down below. But anyway, I went to the library yesterday. I told y'all about that in the last video. And I got to meet Kat Tabor, who does the voice for Padme in Star Wars Clone Wars. And she is such a sweetheart. She talked with the crowd, and she signed every autograph and hugged everybody and took every picture. And she is a dead ringer for Queen Amidala, Princess Padme. So it was like, not princess, Senator Padme Amidala. So definitely, she is sweetheart. And I didn't know she was from Augusta. So now I want to go back and get all those DVDs and support somebody. It was very rare that we get somebody from our area that can blow up and be successful, especially in the expansive fandom that is Star Wars. Anyway, that's all the little bits and pieces of entertainment-wise. I just want everybody to keep South Carolina in your thoughts and prayers. Aiken, Augusta, we kind of got spared. We had to close Aiken County schools and I think Edgefield County schools for a couple of days because the roads got bad. But we didn't really get any real baffling, which is a blessing because we're like right on the river. Just like upstate South Carolina got hit so hard, and then Charleston got hit super hard, and had more rain that came in yesterday. Sporting events had to be relocated, and Louisiana State, they played the South Carolina alma mater because they played South Carolina LSU. They had to move the game from Columbia to Baton Rouge, and the running back, he had a real classy speech. He was talking about how he was trapped during Katrina, so he understood how the people of South Carolina felt, and I thought that was really classy and decent on their part. I just want to shout out all the first responders, all the volunteers, and the local and the state government. They worked together, they worked quickly, and they made the right decisions. There's just not enough to say about them. And I watched a video about how the fire ants, and I said this on the Nature Channel one time, but it's like, they show how all the fire ants, they formed an island and floated on the river, and they basically made like a raft of themselves to keep the larva and keep the queen safe. The biology was just the instinct, and it's kind of cool. Normally fire ants kind of freak me out just because how poisonous and how dangerous they are, but it was kind of cool to see how the fire ants were able to save each other and keep each other safe, during a time of crisis. And we can learn a lot from nature in that instance. And it's just like, with all the flooding going on, it reminds me of the movie San Andreas that I saw last month. And it just reminds me, like, I am woefully underprepared for emergency situations. So I definitely want to go back and do my research and bone up on how to keep safe, during the weather storm. Because, we had an ice storm last year, and then we had the flooding this year. We've been getting a lot of severe weather. So any knowledge I have can maybe save a life, keep my own life safe. And definitely contact your local Red Cross. They're still in need of water. They're still in need of clothing. They're still in need of, just supplies that people can get back to a sense of normalcy. So contact your local Red Cross and see what help they need. Maybe just answer a few phone calls for a few hours. Anyway, what do you think of any of the topics I discussed? Leave in the comments down below. thumbs up this video, and subscribe if you're so inclined. Until next time, this is Soundwave signing off. Peace.